Good evening. The Prairie North Health Region says ambulance services in Neilburg will cease operations starting June 1st. PNHR says the decision to close the service was made because they couldn't find enough employees. Residents of Neilburg, Marsden, and the RMs of Hillsdale and Manitou Lake will continue to call 911 for ambulance services. Now, these services will now come from the nearest available EMS locations in Lloydminster, Maidstone, Cutknife, or the Heartland Health Region. Residents affected by this will be getting detailed information mailed out to them. Well, it's a simple message every driver knows: don't drink and drive and don't text and drive. But it seems some people still aren't getting the message. As part of EMS Week, Lloydminster Emergency Medical Services partnered up with the Students Against Destructive Decisions to set up a mock accident. And Stanislaw was there this morning and has more.
It's a heart-stopping scene as emergency crews and RCMP rush to the site of a fatal crash. But even if it isn't real, SAD and Lloydminster EMS want to show the consequences of destructive decisions.
I was a passenger in the back seat of the accident and had a broken collarbone and basically just watched all of my friends get hurt, and with way more intense injuries than me, so it was pretty intense.
It was really terrifying because I was sitting there and I could hear them cutting open like the car, and I was just like, man, like if this is real.
And for Corey Edwards, it's a real scenario he sees almost every week, whether it's a minor fender bender or a major accident involving alcohol like this.
I've been to quite a few teenagers that were killed in these collisions, and they hit close to home. They don't only hit home with the families, but it echoes through the whole school, the whole community.
He says these collisions can be easily avoided.
Have a designated driver or plan to take a taxi cab. You don't want to go home in a hearse. You don't want to go home in an ambulance. You don't want your parents to find out you've been injured or that you've been killed in a car accident or that you've killed someone else. So we're hoping to get the message out.
Because we've had so many DUIs in this school, but they just don't understand. So I hope that this would better their understanding that it's real.
According to Statistics Canada, police reported more than 90,000 impaired driving incidents in 2011.
When they see their classmates in an accident like that, I just hope that they realize that their decisions do have effects and that they can get seriously hurt, and I don't want it to be anyone who I know. So I really hope that they take that to heart and really think about what happened.
Yeah. No.
Anna Stanislaw, Newcap News.
With the economy booming in the border city, many local businesses continue to voice concerns about the difficulty of finding workers. The MP for Vegreville Wainwright was in Lloydminster this afternoon to discuss a couple of federal employment programs. Kim Smith has the details.
Tighter rules to the Temporary Foreign Workers program is being met with contention by many local business owners. One of the new stipulations is employers who rely on foreign help must eventually transition to a Canadian workforce.
I knew the kind of reaction this would get. I didn't like it either, but there were good reasons for it. So now we're having the consultation period, and I really think the Temporary Foreign Worker program can be made into a better program.
Mayor Jeff Mulligan has been vocal about his opposition to the changes. He spoke to Newcap News about it earlier this month.
Well, this is a classic example of a federal government that is not consulting with Canada and all of its diverse economic regions. Our economic region has a dramatically different circumstance than does Eastern Canada.
I don't know whether a regional approach will be allowed. It is tough for the federal government. It's certainly something that I've suggested. Whether it can actually be done, I don't know.
Benoits is encouraging business owners to voice their concerns to the federal government. He says he understands their struggles with finding workers. All
of our Alberta caucus had a problem with it for Alberta. And Saskatchewan caucus was the same, and so was BC, because we're the provinces that have the greatest worker shortage.
Benoit also spoke about the federal government's Hire Event program. It encourages businesses to give priority to hire qualified Canadian veterans. Ron Landry has been with the Canadian Forces for 18 years and applauds the initiative.
It's nice to know that people are putting thought into programs like this to help service members and stuff, for sure.
The program acts as sort of a matchmaker between veterans and local businesses. Benoit says it won't solve the labor shortage, but it will help.
it will mean a lot of really good workers, people who have good work ethic, people who are very disciplined workers. They will show up for work. They will do the job. I think it'll be a huge benefit for business around here.
Kim Smith, Newcap News.
Lloydminster residents can expect upgrades to the Service Sports Centre. MP Leon Benoits made another announcement today, this one regarding public accessibility. Megan Willis has more.
Benoit says $50,000 will go towards new automatic doors, making the building more accessible.
It's going to automatic opening doors, I guess, at both ends of the facility, and that'll make it really easy for people who just don't have their hands available to open doors or don't have the strength to open doors.
Benoit acknowledges the importance for accessibility in buildings such as the Sports Centre.
Well, we'd heard it from across the country for a number of years that a real difficulty that groups and communities have is to enable accessibility for people with disabilities.
With both the City of Lloydminster and the federal government putting up $50,000 each, the city can expect construction on accessible doors to start as early as July.
The funding for the new doors is just one of the grants the city hopes to receive in regards to new projects developing.
We're getting our fair share, or we think we're on top of getting our fair share. There's more work to be done. And you've always got to be aware of which programs are coming up and how they're being funded and whether you can be what they call shovel ready.
They did the work that had to be done to apply for it and to meet the criteria and to qualify. So as a result, it's gone ahead, or is going ahead, and it just will make this building a little bit easier to use for people with disabilities.
Megan Willis, Newcap News.